Good evening and welcome everybody to another edition of the Music and Mixing Show. I'm your host, DJ Michael Joseph, and tonight we are talking about virtual DJ stuff and some specific things about skins tonight. If you've never seen the show before, one of the things we do at the top of the hour is that we see who's in the chat, say hello to some people. We tend to get some people from all around the world, so I always like to see where everybody's viewing from, so feel free to shout out in the chat your name, where you're from. I'll give you a shout out here. And in just a couple of minutes, we'll start the show. Like I said, tonight I'm going to be talking a little bit about skins for a reason, and then you guys can just hit me with the questions. So first off, I see in the chat Howie. Hello, what's going on, Howie? Hope you're doing well. Love the Bluetooth speaker you made, by the way. That was cool. Mark is from Zimbabwe. Welcome, our first international check-in. I should have warmed my lips up tonight. I'm choking on every single word. So there, yeah. So we got a couple of people there. We are on 13 different places tonight. All over from Facebook, multiple Facebook pages, multiple YouTube pages, Twitch, everything. So we're on everywhere. Again, feel free to do a shout out. Fly Robin's in the house. What's going on, Robin? Hope you're doing well. All my virtual fans out there. If I'm a little hot in the mic, I'm going to turn that down just a little bit because it's throwing it into the red when I announce. So again, like I said, if you never watched the show at the top of the hour, I just do take a couple of minutes, welcome everybody in. Anybody in the chat from around the world, feel free to do a shout out and I will say hello. Mariana Rosario. I am horrible with names, so welcome. Jeff is from South Wales, UK. What is going on, Jeff? Thank you for tuning in. Anybody else, feel free to shout out. Like I said, I think tonight's going to be fun. I get a lot of questions about skins, so tonight should be pretty decent to talk about the different skins there are. I'm going to talk about little things there. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, in the chat right now, there's a chat going on. Howie Darkstar does, every Monday night, does a hangout sort of thing. And he's one of our DJNTV presenters, and he is like a technical wizard, and in my opinion, a technical wizard. He might call himself that. But he recently took an old drive-in theater speaker, if you're old enough to remember what they are. If you don't, go look up drive-in theater speaker. And he took one of those and turned it into a Bluetooth speaker, and I thought that was kind of cool. So we have Mariano is from New Jersey. Graham Wiggs is from North Carolina. Lots of people watching tonight. This should be pretty good. Again, we'll take questions about anything tonight, but tonight I'm going to start out talking about skins for a kind of a reason to talk about. I'm going to explain some things and kind of show you some stuff that I've done recently and different things. It's a season for change for me. I'm trying lots of new things. This Saturday I will be out with my new DJ booth that I just built. First time out with it anywhere. It has a TV on the front. It's modular. Kind of excited about it. It has, for the most of the week, has been occupying lots of space here in the studio as I'm trying stuff out. So that'll be out Saturday. Just like I said, trying a bunch of new things out, and skins is one of them. So last chance to get a shout out from me. Otherwise, I'm moving on. Moving on like Donkey Kong. I know that doesn't rhyme, but it's close enough. Again, thank you all for tuning out with me. We're on 13 different places tonight. Isn't technology crazy? You know, I remember 20 years ago doing online stuff in early 2000s. 2004, and being excited to be on one place someplace, and now I'm doing a show that is simulcastly broadcast on 13 different websites right now. So that is the end of the shout outs for tonight. I'll get back to you, but tonight, as you see from the splash screen, we're going to be talking about virtual DJ, so I'll be taking your virtual DJ questions. But first, I want to talk about some stuff with virtual DJ that I've kind of been doing and changing up here, and one of them is skins. Now, those of you who know, see if I can bring this up here, I use, or have been using, so there I let the dog out of the bag there, for a long time, an edited version of a virtual DJ skin called I even blanked on the name of it, by Danyo. Controller 2020 by Danyo, and it's an HD, and this is my edit. And the reason it's my edit is because I put my little logos in there, and I've been doing stuff like that for years. And one of the main reasons I always like this is because I like to see a lot of songs when I'm mixing. I don't need a lot of stuff up at the top because I'm doing stuff all the time on the controller, so my hands are on it. I don't need to take a mouse and point up here for anything. So this is kind of what I've been doing for the longest time. He's running this one by Denyo. He's done several different versions. And recently a friend of mine who uses Serato, he uses a special skin. Where is that at? Here it is. Not a special skin, a special mode that Serato comes in that you can choose different drop downs, and one of them is called Stack, and Stack only works when you're plugged into an official Serato piece of hardware, and it looks kind of like this. So Stack just puts the waveforms over top of each other with a little bit of information over here. And basically, you don't have the little circle thing. And I've watched him DJ so many times. He's a great DJ. DJ Rambo, good friend of mine, holla. But this is the way he runs his Serato. And I kind of liked it, again, because I'm not a person that needs to look at the little spinny things. If I'm scratching, I'm looking at the waveforms, stuff like that. So I decided to kind of to play around a little bit with virtual and see what I could do. And one of the things I've come up with is going back to the original default skin. So if we go here and we go up into here and we just pick the default skin, there's a lot of different versions. Like one of the versions is starter, and starter's kind of neat because if you throw a video up there, you see the video in the starter. Let me throw one up here. I think that my, did that go on there? No. A video? Oh, because I got to put it in video mode for that to do that there. You'll see the videos spin in the center there. Turn the video mode off because I don't need that. But basically, this is the starter mode, real basics. Then Essentials gives you the same thing, but a little bit more stuff. Pro, it's kind of looking like a pro level should look, and you can add or take away a lot of these elements. And then the final one is the one that I think I'm going to be going with is Performance. But Performance, that you can do performance on a whole lot of different levels. You can do full, which is back to that. You can do compact, which is minus the things but still all the information. And then small, and it just kind of shrinks stuff up there. But I also like Pro. So one of the things that I did is, because you know I MIDI map everything, I went in here and went into mapping, and just for right now on the studio computer, on my DJ computer I'm doing it differently, but just to show it here, I took Control Q and put in this, let me zoom in, and put in this code for so that it loads skin default Pro, loads skin default Performance. And you have put that little thing on the end. Someone on Virtual's forum helped me get this right because I kept missing this end part and I could not get it to do what I want it to. So basically with this in there, I can switch by doing Control Q from the Pro layout. Let me go back here, left screen. From Pro layout. Oops, do I have to click here? Oh, that's right, I was on the other screen. Pro layout to Performance layout. So I can just jump back and forth anytime I need. And like I said, this is just one of the things that lately, because I don't, like I said, I don't, when I scratch, I look at the waveforms. I don't need all that stuff. I want to see more songs, and that's what I kind of decided with this. But there are times where I maybe need to see the cue buttons or effects or something. And like I said, I did a shortcut that just lets me bring that all back up in one click, and I can see all my effects and everything. Full screen, the video, but also with the if I do video on this one, because it's the Pro, I can set up racks. So I can do video as a rack, singularly, effects as a rack, singularly, mixer as a rack, singularly. You know, those can be one at a time or all three. It does not have to be all of them. You can do 1, 2, or 3, or if you don't want any, you just close them all and you're back to that. So with the skins and stuff, again, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, is that you can do so much with virtual. If you don't know, there's so many little settings like that. And like I said, I'm trying to do a lot. I'm trying some different stuff now. And like I said, after watching Rambo and his setup with Serato, I'm like, well, I don't use all that. So I'm a person who likes screen space for songs so I can scroll and find stuff. And with virtual, I can do that. Plus also for those who maybe don't like those waveforms I had there's like 3 or 4 different waveforms, full color waveforms, everything you want. This is just how I've set it up with the default Performance, small, no racks showing. So there. Like I said, I just kind of wanted to start out the night tonight. I'm starting to read as soon as I come back here, I start reading the chat. We'll take questions about this or anything else. Looking down here. Howie says he likes the dark mode. I run dark mode on everything. At my phone, absolutely everything. I can do the daytime mode in, is it here that I can jump into that? Daylight mode. So if I want there, so that's just it's a color scheme, and I run not default or dark. See, that's the gray, and you can do color scheme dark, and it makes it a little darker. I like both. I sometimes really like the gray. You can do the contrast on purpose, or the default, which is the gray. And I kind of like, it gives it a little bit of everything, but like I said, sometimes I end up running it on dark mode. Boop. But yeah, I dark mode everything. So we're going to look down the chatty chat there. Graham Regan says, what's giving you the one-click jump like that after you MIDI'd it? Well, you can set it up. When you MIDI map something, you set it up however you want to set it up. So in mine, I chose the button. Okay, this is just the keyboard. I don't have a controller plugged into it. But if you had a controller, you would see all of these here in this menu, and you would pick the one you want. And if it's not there, you can enter it right there. I chose Control Q because there was nothing to that. I just wanted something really quick, left-handed. So all I have to do is hit Control and Q on the keyboard, and it does that switch. So, oh, I have to click. I'm clicking on the wrong screen again. And that just makes it switch. And that's switching back and forth for some reason. Control Q. There we go. Control Q. Control Q. Control Q. I broke something there, didn't I? Ah! It's not letting it do it there. There we go. Anyways, back to normal. So yeah, that's how you do it there. Graham Regan says Prime 2. Is that a question, statement, or a declaration? Let me know. Again, open questions tonight about virtual. Anything you want to do whatsoever question-wise. I just wanted to start out talking about the skin because that's something that I've been doing lately, kind of playing around with that. And like I said, this afternoon was trying to get that quick switch between the two. So if I want to look at something, I can jump back and forth real quick. And I just thought you guys might like to see how far you can MIDI map if you want. So any questions from the chat about anything in virtual or anything else if you need me to answer other questions? Yeah, Ram says you'll get it. Will I get the Prime 2? Is that what you're saying? Again, not sure what you're doing there. Denon, again, your statements, they're not questions. I'm not understanding you. If someone is understanding him and I'm missing it, please let me know. Apologize, but we're taking any questions from anybody, all that stuff. I have a keyboard shortcut to press B, and browser zoom goes in and out. Yeah, zoom is one that a lot of people like. I never use it. In fact, I get yelled at all the time from like young DJs at how small my my font is. So I feel pretty good that at my age, I'm doing good with this font like this. I don't need to zoom in, but if you need to, zoom is a great function, and it is a very good function to do quick MIDI mapping in and out on. Graham, again, if you were saying about programming a button, it's the same thing as a keyboard is a button on your controller because it's all MIDI. So it's reading your keyboard, computer keyboard as MIDI, the same as it's reading the controller as MIDI. And you would figure out what button you want there and to program it. If you're talking about how to do that on the Denon Prime minus virtual, you can't. Prime is Prime. But if Prime hooked up to the Denon, you can do that. Yeah. How can, hold on, there's one earlier there. Will Virtual DJ play karaoke all formats? Virtual DJ will play everything, and I'll show you here. Everybody kind of questions on that. Let me go up here into options. And I got to find it. I got to remember what it's under. Is it under audio? And I can show you all the different things that Virtual plays. Where is that at? There it is. I'm going to copy come over here, move this way, and left screen, zoomed. So these are all the different kind of files that virtual will work with. And that also includes karaoke files and a bunch of different other things. I've never seen a file that it can't read. Like literally never seen a file that it can't read. So hope that helps. Mariana says, how can I use the keys 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 like Serato? In what sense do you want to use them for? Somebody's talking about a zip file. I don't think it'll open a zip file. I've never seen I don't know if anything will open a zip file. It's zipped there. But Mariana, let me know what you mean by what do you want to use the keys 1 through 6 for? You're talking, you know, because some of those are already programmed by virtual to do things, and you can reprogram them if you want. Roger says it brings the whole search results list bigger, longer. Yeah, it's keyboard shortcuts. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do to see different things better, move stuff around. Again, that's why I like virtual, because you can make it anything you want it to be. And like I said, as you see, I get picky about stuff. All right, I think I know what Ariana's asking for there. So if we go here and mapping, I'll share this here in a second. And I don't think the numbers are currently mapped on this. So key. All right, so where am I sharing here? So, all right, so this right now is the MIDI mapping area. And these are the keyboard only right now. And this includes some of mine because there's a default and then there's mine. And you can save multiple ones here with different things. This is the Serato Compact one. This is the Record Box one. So with these, right now, you can see what is programmed already MIDI mapped wise. And right now, the numbers are only done with Alt. So if you do Alt 0, it's looping the right deck, etc., so on and so forth. So right now, the numbers are not MIDI mapped unless you use Alt and then the numbers. But you could do Control and then the numbers. You could pick a letter like S and then the numbers. So if I wanted to do the numbers, I'm going to click up here and I'm going to type the number 1 on my keyboard and you'll see it show up there. All right, so number 1, that's how it reads it. And then I would put a command right here to map that. So if I wanted to trigger an effect, start a play button, reload a track, whatever I wanted to, I would then put that down here, choosing audio, whatever, or write it in myself, because it can be anything like these, deck, stop, load button. And then when you press the number 1, it will then be whatever you map it to be. But the thing is, if you're typing BPMs or searching any sort of date, having the number programmed is going to screw you up. So if I go back to here and I want to type in because virtual you can do string searches. A lot of people don't know about string searches. So if I'm DJing a song that's 102 BPM, I can go 100-105, and now it's showing me absolutely everything within that range. So if you had the number 1 MIDI map to something, you couldn't type that in. So I can take this further and go 1995-2005, and now it's only bringing up the songs 100 to 105, 1995, and then I can take that a little further and go pop, and then remix. And then let me take it even further. Trap. So now by doing that string search, I have eliminated every song that I have that isn't 101 BPM to 105, 1995 to 2005, a pop remix that is trap. And that makes one song, and I have All Stars by Smash Mouth, a trap remix that I absolutely love. So again, if you don't want to do, if you end up doing the numbers, you're going to be kind of limited. So that's why you always want to try to combine them with something else. If one, if not two. So you could do Alt Control 1 is something. Alt Control 2 something. If I'm correct, you can do right and left Alt. So you could do a right Alt and number as opposed to a left Alt and number. But pretty much anything like that. But that's all you would have to do would be to put the numbers in there and program them yourself. But like I said, because everybody does something different, and I type in stuff like that all night long, so I definitely need my numbers right on there. Let me see here. Roger says loops. When you're asking a question, please do me a favor and write out the whole question and not just a word, because there's a delay of 20 seconds from when I broadcast before it even goes to the air and then gets to you guys, because so there is a buffer so that we don't kind of crash. I have a 20-second buffer running all the time. So if I'm talking about something and then you type something, that's at least 30 seconds after I said it. So please spell it out there. Austin says, can you use virtual with Spotify? You used to be able to use virtual with Spotify. You used to be able to use virtual with Algorithm DJ. Now, Spotify does not allow itself to be used on anything. So you can't use Spotify with anything except Spotify, and that's it. Don't know if that's going to go in the future, because they are they're kind of, I don't want to say money hungry, but that's their focus. So to get Spotify into a program, that program would have to pay a lot of money. No, you cannot. Austin says no, because I've done 2 videos on it, trying to tell people, again, if you ever want to know anything, go to Disc Jockey News' YouTube page, youtube.com/Disc Jockey News, and search within our videos for stuff. And I think I have 4 or 5 videos about Serato and what you can and can't use in virtual. Like for virtual, let me move here. So this is all you can do for online music with virtual. And I say all, and there's a lot. So iDJ Pool is one that I absolutely love, because it gets you streaming versions of stuff, but they're all marked via DJ. So it's like intro, outro, clean, etc., so on and so forth. VDJ Pool is another subscription service for virtual DJ that gets you videos. DigiTracks is a subscription version from virtual that gets you karaoke tracks. Then Deezer is exactly like Spotify, and I do subscribe to this one also. So it doesn't matter what song you're looking for. If it's on Spotify, it's also on Deezer, and I can search it and play it. What makes them different is that they are from, I believe, Paris, France, or France. I don't know if it's Paris, but France. And a lot of their stuff, I guess the way it's streamed and stuff is different. So if I search for Drake in there, and it's going to bring up all the different Drake songs, and I can just literally drag and drop them into the thing, and they'll load. And bam, I can play that song right now. And that's streaming. So we're going to go down there. We have SoundCloud, which is also SoundCloud Go Plus, Beatport Link, Beat Source Link, Tidal, and also because of the way that Google now does the Google Drive, it lets your computer read it as an actual drive letter. So it's now G. So I can have stuff on my cloud and play it through Virtual DJ from the cloud. Let me go back here, and I think I've missed a few questions there. On the highlighted deck, the numbers are measured loops. I use it all night. I'm not sure what you're asking there, but I appreciate that. Brian, what's going on? Say hello. Sean Denard, how are you, buddy? Can you map it to show a specific playlist when you push a number? You can, actually, but one of the cool things that they've just done, and I don't know if I have this mapped right now or not, so I'm going to have to switch back. Left screen. So if I go, I'm on the wrong one there. Go over here. And if I go to, they did a thing now where it's a search folder. So I've taken this little button right here and I've mapped it to do folder searches. So I can do one that brings up a specific folder just like this. But what I've done with this is done it so that you can search the folders only. So I bring this up, and what I'm going to search for here will not bring up songs. It will bring up folders or playlists. So a place I used to DJ for was every month was a different theme, and I used to have to do themes for them. So now I have this. So if I say, oh, I know it was ILKB, and it was Christmas. No, I didn't have a Christmas one. Rave. So now I can just go this and click on here, and it will take me to the rave folder. So you can do searches like that, and you can do other ones that will bring up, like you said, a specific one. It's just, again, MIDI mapping what you want it to bring up. I got way too many things here open for me. Let me go back down to here. Try YouTube MP3. Try BPM Supreme. No, that's the only ones that you can play. Like, I subscribe to BPM Supreme. I subscribe to Club Killers. And those are just download services. Those aren't streaming services. There's a difference. The things I was showing you are streaming services. So you never get to keep the song. You only play it. It's like renting. It's just like a streaming service. So that's what all of those are just streaming services is all they are. And like I said, I use them all night long, different things. I did a Christmas party a couple Saturdays ago, and they wanted really traditional Christmas music. And I don't have much of that, so I ended up going into both the iDJ Pool and the Deezer and picking up just traditional Christmas music and played it from there all night long. Do video subscriptions, has many Latin, and what's the cost for both English and Spanish videos? VDJ's subscription service isn't huge. It's expensive. If I'm correct, it's like $50 a month for the video service. Yeah, the video service is $49.99 a month, and I have no idea what they have on there because I've never done anything other than just look at it. I think if I'm correct, I can do let's see here. I can do a search for stuff. Yeah, so send me a song that you'd be interested in seeing if I could find, and I can do the search for the song. I can't play it, but the video DJ service will tell me. Trinidad in the house, what's going on? Todd is Steve, how are you doing? Can you get it to search a specific folder instead of SLL folders? You can have it be picky about that, but what I would tell you to do, the easiest way around that, honestly, is to make a shortcut. So let me show here. I'm in the way on this one, so let me do this. All right, so the yellow folder is nothing but a shortcut to somewhere else. These are all shortcuts to somewhere else. So if you had a folder, so if I went into my playlists and I had in... let's take Scratch Routine from 2018, and I highlight it and then go up here and add to favorites. It will then put a favorite down here. So now I have it down here to do a quick search on, and I'm going to do a search for Bring the Noise, and what it does is it's going to show what's in the folder first, and then it's going to create a space, and then it's going to show from other folders. So you can have that folder shortcut to highlight all the time if you want, and just go boom, and then you have a shortcut to that folder and type in whatever you want, and it'll show you the song above that. So I'm hoping that helps. I'm not sure. Sean says, thanks for your hope to help you in Vegas. I will not be in Vegas. I probably won't even go to the Atlantic City Expo next year. After missing it this year, I'm kind of happy about missing it. I know people don't want to hear that, and I always say never, so you might see me at one of them. I don't know. But I just, for what I do, I don't go to the seminars, so I go there to see equipment, and right now, that's not the focus that I'm on right now. I'm really focusing hard on the book and different things that are going on with that. So I honestly don't know if I'll ever go back to any of the expos, or if I do, it'll be just a day trip in and out or something. So hate to break your heart, but that's where I'm at right now. So we are going to look up this one for Mariano. Hope I'm saying that right. We're going to go to online music. Let me go back here. Left screen zoomed. And we're going to do the video, and boop, see what we come up here. No results for that one, so sorry. Searching for that one, nothing. So the two that people sent me, they don't. Like I said, I don't think they have a much on there. It's kind of a lot of stuff is very limited on those. I know with the MP3 service that I subscribe to, I do well with it. Like, I really like it a lot. So we go back here, and I go to iDJ Pool. Let me search for that and see if I find that. All right, so if I do the audio search for that name, it does bring 2 up. And this is what I think's cool about them, is that it lets you know it's a clean and it's a single. So if there was something that was longer, it would do that. I don't know what, I don't know, again, people typing stuff. Disco Noel Christmas. All right, we're going to look for that. I guarantee I'll find it somewhere. Deezer. Is that the one? Disco Santa Claus Noel? I don't know. I've never heard of that, so... Like I said, at least for what I do, I don't have any problem with the stuff. I can find it pretty quick there. Thank everybody for tuning in. We got lots of people tuned in tonight. Appreciate it. Again, we're on 13 different places tonight. Holidays coming up. Like I said, this weekend I'm going to be showing off a new booth that I built with the TV and everything. It's kind of cool, and I've got some other stuff coming up this week. It is my season for changing things. I like to change things, and like I said, I was glad to show that tonight, the new skin that I think I'm going to be rolling with most of the time. But yeah, so if you have any other questions, if I missed anything in the chat, if I missed a question you sent, resend it. Be as detailed as you can, please, because I'm missing a lot of stuff that you guys are typing like one-word answers that I'm not understanding where that's coming from. So yeah, you kind of have to explain it there, because like I said, there's at least 30 seconds minimum difference between me saying something, you hearing it, and then you typing back is even, so. Lots of people tuning in all over the place. We are on several YouTube pages, several Facebook pages, Twitch pages. Claremont, Florida is in the house. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Taking pretty much any virtual DJ question tonight. I focused off the top of the hour on skins, shared a little bit, some shortcuts that I've been doing. Me, MIDI mapping to death, everything. And trust me, I've been diving deep lately on a lot of stuff. This is about the time of year that virtual kind of kicks out. Actually, November was, that they normally kick out their next version of Virtual DJ. So they would be normally kicking out 2022 this time of year, and I've not heard anything from them. I want to do a quick search here for a second and see. One of the things I wanted to talk about with the skins here, I forgot to talk about this here, that if you want to find skins that aren't, we're going to go to the Virtual DJ page first. So if we go to Virtual DJ page, you can both do this within Virtual. So if you wanted to look for more skins, you can go within Virtual, go to Extensions, and then Skins in Main, and then all these are skins that you can download and different things. Install, uninstall. There's also effects, video outputs, karaoke, samples, pads, lots of different pad setups, other stuff, custom mapping, databases, samples, loops, instruments, scratching, effects, visuals, all kinds of stuff that you can do a search for there. But also out there are different, you can go to the page, the Virtual DJ page, and look at the different skins that are on the page. What I like this for is because you can do a seriously sort by newest, most popular, whether you want to be PC or Mac, stuff that's focused on video output, karaoke output, stuff like that. But you also can find stuff like I found this, and I'm going to switch on this, and I'm going to hate my fact for switching on this. But we're going to go back to here and interface, and if I want mine to look like Serato DJ, I can make a skin to make it look like Serato DJ. I can also make it look like Record Box if I want. And these are not on Virtual DJ's website. They are on other ones, and I found them just doing searches online, and one of the searches came through a YouTube page that was simply titled Skin Serato, and down below there when you do show more, it gives you the link to download it. You can do what you want if you don't feel safe doing that, but I'm okay doing that. I don't have a problem with that because I've got enough guards on my computer that I'm not going to download something that, it isn't there. So let me switch back. I'm on the wrong screen here. Default. And I always hate this, that when I switch over to the I'll show you what I'm doing here. When I switch over to the Serato one, it always messes up my waveforms because there are several different waveforms that you can choose. Beats, and you can do an over and under like this. Their newest one is the colors. I mean, sorry, not the colors. This is the colors. And then there's also shapes. And shapes is kind of neat because you can see here, the inner part, the white part, is a person's voice. The outer part is the beat, if I have that right. I haven't done this in a while. So if I pull out the vocal, yeah, the outer part is vocal. So you can see it disappear. So the inner part is the beat, the outer part is the vocal. So as you're going along there, like the top one, I can pull the vocal out, and you'll see it disappear there. And that's one of the kind of things that I think is kind of neat with that, with this waveform. I'm not a fan of that. I like the colors, and I like it in monochrome. Is it the monochrome or is it per deck? Per deck. I will have to switch this later because I can't make it work. So we're hitting the questions. Back to the questions. What kind of DJ lights should I buy? Whichever ones that you like. I have 2 lights that I take out with me, and like I said, because I don't do a lot of mobile gigs. I'm a DJ that DJs for clubs, bars, and lately it's been casinos right and left. So none of the places I go to do I ever have to take speakers or lights. So I own 2 lights. Well, actually, I own some uplighting, but I don't. It's been 4 years since they've been out of their bag. So anything that I take out is I have 2 gig bar LTs, which are older gig bars, and I take those out, and that's it. So Marino is telling me how to pronounce Marino. Thank you. I apologize about that. Do you have any idea how to get record box playlists onto Virtual DJ when the music is on the external drive? As far as I know, if you have that external drive plugged into the computer, and when you open up record box and it can read it, when you open up virtual, it should read it exactly the same, because what it's doing is it's going to read off a record box's database. So I hope that makes sense. If it's not reading it, I'm not really sure. I think there might be a checkbox somewhere in there for record box folders. I'll take a quick look here. I don't think there is, because I think it reads it automatically as far as I know. Now, I think it reads it automatically. I don't know if it's not, so let me know if that's what you're doing. Why do you prefer Virtual DJ over Serato DJ? When I told this story a couple Monday nights ago. When I first jumped onto Virtual Soft, actually, let me take a step back. In around 2000, a friend of mine, I've had him on the show, John Holman, helped develop PC DJ Red, and this was around 2000, 2001. He calls me up at studio one day and said, hey, I got this program up here for DJing. You got to come up and check it out. So I go up, check it out, play with it for like a half an hour and say, this is the dumbest thing in the world. I'll never use a computer to DJ from. So again, never say never. And when I kind of steered away from it for years. And when Denon came out with their little 1200s that could take thumb drives, I put the thumb drives in and I was DJing off these little screens off thumb drives before everybody else was doing it. And I got tired of only being able to see a screen about that big. So that's when I wanted to jump on computers. So around 2008, 2009, I started testing them, and I tested everything. I really wanted to like Tractor because it could do a lot of, you can customize it a lot. And I had Virtual 6 and did not like Virtual 6. And then went to the Expo, and they were handing out test copies of Virtual 7. So I got a copy of that, brought it home, and it freaking blew my mind because I could not believe what Virtual could do. In my opinion, and I'm going to say this, and I'm not saying this to be smart alecky, I'm not saying this for clickbait, I'm not saying this to start a fight. When I look at all the things that Virtual can do, Serato, to me, looks like an old program that refuses to change. And that's the best way I can say that. I can do so much more with Virtual than I can ever dream of doing with Serato. Rekordbox can do so much more than Serato could ever dream of. Serato is just limited. And if you want something that is not have a lot of change, that you then find extremely reliable, that's what you want. With these other ones, I get updates and changes weekly sometimes, every other day, and I love those updates. I love being able to customize everything. like I said, with that, going, oh, I want to see more of this and less of this and move this around or change a completely different color or make it look like Serato or make it look like this or maybe tomorrow I want that. This gives me the option to move anything around any way I want, changing font sizes, colors, waveforms, positions. It basically, like I always say, with technology, I shouldn't have to fit the technology. The technology should fit me. So if you and I DJ completely opposite with a program like Virtual, which I keep saying they should call it Versatile DJ, like Virtual, we both can have exactly what we want and still use the same program. That's what I like about it. I like doing that string search that I talked about earlier. Like I said, a string search. I love this because, again, I don't do a lot of crating. So I'm not a big person for crates. So if I want to search for something, and let's say this song right here is 81 BPM. Let me switch the other screen here. So this song here is 81 BPM, and I'm looking for something to mix with that. So I'm going to go 78 to 85. So now I'm doing this, and I have everything in my entire computer brought up between that BPM range, sorted by play count. Where's my play count? Right there. So sorted by play count. So if it's something I play a lot, I'll look at the top. If something I haven't played in a while, I'll go down to the bottom and go, yeah, I could do that, or I could play that one and whatever. And then I go, well, I want to be a little bit more specific. This song here is Tootsie Slide, so that's past couple of years. So if I want to go 2016 to 2021, 2021, now I'm only going to be playing songs between that BPM range in those past couple of years. So if I know it's something new, let's say this is something come out in the past 2 years, can't remember it, 2020, I'm jumping into 2022 already. So this is the songs in that BPM range that just came out in the past 2 years, right here, from this line up. And I like it just so I'm able to do that quick of a search of things that I mark them because I do a lot of tagging. Not a lot, but I mark them with what I want. Like groupings, you can do groupings, anything you want. You can do line dances. You can mark that to be absolutely anything you want. I do decades in there, so I can do a search within a decade. Genres, however you want to genre them. I use the word pop, meaning that this song has at one point crossed over onto the Billboard Hot 100 chart. That's a tag for me. So you can have hip hop, and then you can have hip hop pop, and pop just means that it was a hip hop song that made it on the charts. Year, any kind of tag you want to put in there is searchable. And again, that's kind of why I like it. Like I can do, even if I want to try to find online album art, it automatically searches for the album art. I can do things here to rename stuff. I can do searches for things. It's just endless amounts of stuff that I can do with Virtual that you just can't do with other stuff. And again, I'm okay with that. Whatever you like, you like. Moving down here, we still got about 15 minutes. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We got a whole bunch of people watching. I appreciate that. Graham Wigg says that it will show up under volumes. That is a Mac thing, isn't it? That's right, it's a Mac thing. So that would be, yeah. So that's why I don't know about it, because I'm not only am I the person that everyone hates because I use Virtual, I'm the person that everyone hates because I use Windows. Can I post the Serato link? I'm not gonna post it, but what I am gonna do is I'll show it. So all you got to do is go out, and that's all I did is I went to Google and did a search for Virtual DJ Serato skin, and this was the web page it brought me to, and it's right down there, and you click on it and download. There are other ones out there, so you can get a whole bunch like this. There are people that make these that don't even put them on the virtual site that you can go out there. Like I said, but your library has to be tagged properly for that to work. Again, the songs, if I download something from like BPM Supreme, let's just use them as an example because I do that. It's going to have the genre, the year in there. So those two, genre, year, and BPM. So just those three, without you adding anything to it, can do it. So almost every song that you're going to download is going to already have that in there. And like I said, you can just take it and search for just BPM. If you download a song, the BPM is going to be there. It's going to be there if your computer scans it. So on the left there, we're going to do 113-118. That's something that everyone's going to be in there, especially is going to be in there if it scans. Genres are going to kind of be in there. So let's say if I want to do a mashup. I know the mashups are marked as mashups or EDM or house or whatever. And the year, most of the time, is in there too. I just do the other genres to where I do like the 2000s is 00S, or 90s is 90S, or in the 2010s is 10s, and right now we're dropping into the 20s and songs that are out in the 20s, and I just do that. Or because they're marked with the year, because a lot of them come out, then you do a search 10-19, and it'll bring them up that way. You don't have to do a lot of tagging, but it helps. Like I said, when I download the song, for me, it's always download the song. I get it in a folder. So let's look at some of my newer ones here. And this has not been updated. This computer's not been updated in a while. The song comes on there. I'll do analyze for BPM is the first thing I click. You can't see that. Zoomed. Right click. Analyze for BPM. And then while it's doing that, and it does it in seconds, then tag editor, I'll just take a quick look and go, do I want it to be pop? I throw in the groupings, and that can be even line dance, because I have tags for any song that's a line dance. And that's the only two things I usually have to do, because 90% of the time that's in there. But you can put other stuff to search too. Like I said, in the grouping part, so if I go back to here and type in line dance, whoops, not with the 3, and it's going to bring up all my line dance songs. So again, a lot of that stuff is already going to be there. But look, like I said, because you're able to do looking at all your songs by play count, you can look at the stuff you play all the time and only focus on updating them so you can find them faster. But I have no problem with crates either. Whatever works for you, works for you. This is just something, because I've been DJing so freaking long that back then you had records that you went to this record that was this color. And I was a big color person for years. So it was like, I'm going to hit the top of the hour, grab the blue. Or the CD the same way, the blue CD, because I'm burning my own stuff. So it's not just an album. It's the CD has just the songs I want, instead of, getting a promo-only CD that has a bunch of songs and I only use one. I rip them off, burn my own. So blue CD has hot songs. White CD has house songs, stuff like that. So when I've gotten into this, I've kind of simplified it too, not to think of what's BPM. I'm just doing blanket stuff that grabs that genre of stuff that I want. It's just kind of like the way I go through that. Graham says, no one hates you. I changed over to Mac and it was confusing, so I didn't know which computer he used. People do, trust me, I get people smack talking me because I use Windows, and people smack talking me because I use virtual. But here's the thing. Even though a lot of the surveys that you'll see that Serato and Rekordbox are the top two, there are people all over the world that use virtual. It is the most downloaded DJ software amongst all of them. May not be used out in public, but it is the most downloaded. So a lot of people have tried it, and I'm guessing the people who don't like it, like me, have not tried it in years. Like, because when I tried version 6, it was stupid. It just didn't look right. It didn't work right. I didn't like it. But when I got to 7, they changed it. And then they changed 7 to 8 so freaking much. 8 was this beast of an animal. It was so different that you could run 7 and 8 on the same computer. They weren't even the same program. It was a whole new program. And then around 2021, they added stems and all these other things. And it just created this whole beast of a machine that could do so many effects live. So many layers of things. I have a full synth on there that if I want a kick drum playing over top of something, I have a button to press that will start that kick drum in the synth that matches. I don't care if I make my pitch slider up or down, it's going to stay with that pitch. So if I get a song that has a dead spot on it, because I want to mix, I don't have to get this song and get the intro and put the beat there. I just go over and hit this button here, and I've got this kick that keeps that dead point in the song up a little bit, and I'm able to do that until I mix the next one in. I hope that helps. I know I go off on these tangents about this stuff. I apologize. And I hope that I'm answering questions and not confusing or ticking anybody off. It's just this, compared to having to DJ in the past with some of the stuff I've had to DJ with, it's amazing what we can do now. Like, literally, think about this. You can go out with your laptop, and again, no matter what software you're using, you can do this. You can run audio by yourself, one laptop. audio and lights, by yourself, one laptop. Audio, lights, and video, by yourself, one laptop. The whole show from one laptop. And I find that so amazing of what we can do nowadays. I'm going to get back to the questions. We still have about a couple minutes here. Throw your questions at me if you have them. He liked it. Yeah, Graham was saying about his son is a national DJ. You have to, if you know, let's put it this way: DJ Throwdown, two-time DMC champion, uses virtual. Won the DMC championship twice using virtual. So I tell people, I honestly, here's the thing: there isn't been a person yet that I haven't sat down with that uses something else. Ask me, why do you like it? And I spent 5 minutes with them, showing them a couple things, and they're like, that's amazing. Why doesn't Serato do that? I think Serato's about to. I had heard rumors that Serato has been working on a mobile version of their program to be put on tablets, like the really powerful Macs with that M chip that can do some amazing things. So imagine an updated Serato that continually gets updated every time that they just dump, you pay a subscription and they, you have that in front of you now. I think that that's going to be something in the future, and I think that's where you're going to see Serato making the change on their stuff that is going to make them unlimited to what they can do, and I think that's kind of cool. At least that's what my thought is behind it. I think that they're going to surprise us here, and we're going to be like, holy crap, yeah. And we're all of us older people who don't like to pay for subscriptions of stuff are going to be like, yeah, I'll pay for a subscription for that, and that's what I think they're going to do. And it's Tony says I'm new to DJing and I have a problem with gain, and some of my tracks seem louder than others. Trips the auto gain up on some tracks is perfect, matches up, -3. Are you talking about, I'm going to make sure that, Tony, you're using the auto gain and remember. And the other thing you have to remember that I found out recently, that auto gain and remember will go off of a sound card. So if I have a sound card on one controller, it's maybe older or cheaper, and I throw it onto another sound card that has a newer, more powerful sound card, and you've had your auto gain and remembers on this cheaper one, it will pop them really high on the newer one. So you'll have to go back and learn them again if you want. I don't know the why that does that. I think it's looking at not a dB output, like you said, you're doing a negative, because you can do headroom within virtual. We go here, and we go. Where is the? Is it called headroom? Yeah, headroom, headphone gain. There's a headroom gain. Is it called volume? 0 dB. That's it right there. 0 dB. So you can change that to give yourself headroom all the way down to a -12 dB to start with. So, like I said, I've had older equipment that I've had then hooking up the same computer with virtual to newer equipment, and the sound card on the newer equipment was really powerful, and I then had to then integrate headroom by dropping down some dBs, which sounds strange. Again, I'm not an expert on sound. This is maybe something we should have Ben Stowe on the show to answer, because I also have a question in him, the difference between a 32-bit and a 64-bit audio driver and why they sound so differently. And I want to get that there. Again, virtual, if you don't know, virtual does have an auto gain, and remember, left screen zoomed. And you can do no auto gain, which it does it song by song, but doesn't like if it auto gained a song and then I move the gain, it's not going to remember where I moved it to. Remember is just you manually changing it and then it remembering, which is something that I'm thinking about going back and doing, now. And then auto gain and remember does both, to where it will auto gain it, and then if you want to change it, you can change it, and then it will remember what you changed the gain to. So those are all kind of things you can do with that. Again, all these things that virtual does that I think is amazing. Yeah, he said Tony says he has his set for -3 for headroom. I have a newer controller that I had to drop it down a little bit more because I was blown away by how much. I've seen, like I said, going from an older to a newer controller several times, that the sound cards are just getting better and better, and it just pushed really hard, and I was kind of surprised about that. But it's good that they put that in there, and it really gives you a lot of room without really heavily working the gains all night. I mean, I know guys that run Serato that have the gains from here to here, depending on what they're doing, song by song, and I think that's too much to be moving with today's technology. Bumping it a little direction this way, other, I think that's fine. But to take it down to a quarter and three-quarter, I think there's just something there. Or like Chris says, you can take it in. There's several different programs you can take all your songs into that will normalize them and bring them to there. That's something that I probably should do because I know I have some freaking old MP3s. But with Virtual doing its own thing, I just kind of let it do its own thing. So if I missed any other questions, let me know. We're almost at the top of the hour. I want to cut this soon. Again, I do this virtual show once a month, and I have so many people tuning in and watching, and I so much appreciate you guys tuning in and asking questions. I am by no means an expert. I am not employed by Virtual. I do like them. They're a great bunch of guys that help me out with a lot of stuff. Also, the Virtual forums. Like I said, I had a question today about mapping that shift between the two skins, and they help me out with it. So there's a lot of community with Virtual that I like. And like I said, I know a lot of DJs that use two different programs, one for one type of thing, one for another. There's nothing wrong with that. But I always tell you, give Virtual a try. It's kind of cool. Like I said, you make it however you want, and that's what I like about it, because I don't want to be stuck and forced to look at something if I don't like it. That's, again, the original default skin Virtual. I never liked it, so I always went to another one. And now that they have the one that I was showing you all night long, and then being able to switch, again, if you missed the first half of the thing, I did a thing on there. This is Virtual has Pro and all these other ones up here for their different forms of the default skin and performance. I shrunk it down to give me more songs, but I also recently did a shortcut to where I'm able to flip back and forth between the two if I want. And that was what kind of started tonight's thing with all of that. So, anybody else have any questions? Thank you, Howie. Appreciate that. Yeah, Graham. Like he said, there's a big difference between sound. I mean, I can tell you so many different controllers that I've switched to that they're on a different. They're just different, like louder, cleaner. Crisper, all that kind of stuff. And like I said, recently trying some stuff out, I had to really watch, because what was like maybe this much on an old controller then ends up being this much on the new controller. So you kind of have to pay attention to that. But a lot of good stuff. Again, hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll be doing another show this year, music and mixing show this year. I'll definitely be doing next Monday night. Dan and I are going to be doing the Monday night chat show together next Monday night, which will be followed by Howie's show afterwards. You got to check both of those out. I may do one, like I said, Christmas and I stress over the holidays, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of take it easy. I do have some gigs. I actually have a Christmas Eve gig, which is blowing my mind. I don't know what to do with that. All that kind of stuff. So it'll be some new things. But like I said, go check out all the other shows. Also, Disc Jockey News is bringing back its print magazine, print newspaper. It stopped it for a while, bringing it back quarterly. So if you would like to receive the Disc Jockey News newspaper quarterly, just go to DJNTV.com/subscribe. DJNTV.com/subscribe. And you can subscribe to the quarterly Disc Jockey News newspaper, and I will have an article in there on the first one in February. So keep an eye out for that. For anything else, check me out next time. Ask the questions, write them down, bring them back. You guys are freaking awesome. Thank you for hanging out. It's DJ Sports Girl. I didn't even see you in the chat tonight. Thank you for hanging out. Everybody else. Until next time, take care of yourselves over this holiday season. Look out for your friends like me who aren't into the holidays as much and kind of get down. Check up on them. Just don't, just drop them a line. How you doing? Everything okay? You need anything? Because the littlest things this time of season, some people love it. Other people, it drives them into the ground like a jackhammer. So keep an eye out on your friends this season. Until next time, God bless. Happy holidays.